What's going on, guys? Today we have a video I'm pretty excited to bring to you guys, and I'm going to be talking about an underrated aspect of 2019 Panini Fortnite Series 1. Now, the thing that I'm talking about is the non-skin cards. So whether it's a pickaxe, a weapon, there's item cards and gliders, just any of the cards that aren't skins, I personally believe they're quite underrated, and I'm going to go over some aspects of why I believe that is. And the first one is there's a lot of these things you can't play a Fortnite game without, like a pickaxe and a glider. And obviously you can use the default glider and the default pickaxe, but not too many people are doing that. And you know, every single game of Fortnite you play, you're gonna use a pickaxe or a glider. You have to. If you go in your lock and you hit the X for a glider, it'll give you the default glider. Same thing with a pickaxe, it'll give you the default pickaxe. You cannot do anything without a glider or a pickaxe in Fortnite. And the same thing goes with weapons. I mean, you can play a game without weapons, but it's not going to be a very long game if you do that. So that is the first reason I believe that these cards are underrated. They're not talked about enough. And one thing that I hear a lot of people complaining about is the roster for pickaxes were terrible, which, okay, I agree. The pickaxes were not well chosen. But if you think about it this way, those are the only Crystal Shard pickaxes we're ever going to see, probably, because Panini will probably never produce another Fortnite card again, and we will most likely never see the Crystal Shard pattern again for Fortnite cards. So those are the only pickaxes of Crystal Shards we're ever going to get. So that's one way I like to think about it, and the same thing goes with the gliders. And, another thing I also like to talk about with these cards is they do not take up as much of the card, so you can see the actual color of the card more. The actual, a lot of these cards actually have a color gradient that you can't really see with a lot of the skins, because it takes up the skins take up a lot more space on the card than a glider or a pickaxe would. And I have an example right here. Here's a Snow Squall glider Crystal Shard. There's only 2 glider Crystal Shards that are in the 2019 Panini Fortnite set, Snow Squall and Dark Glyph. And you can just see how much more you can see of the card, of the Crystal Shard pattern, and how good they look. And this goes for especially the pickaxes. They take up even less space on the card. And the same thing goes with the hollow foils. Those look great too with the gliders, because you can see a lot more of the card in its shiny form compared to if, a big skin was on there, like, someone who takes a lot of space. Like, the first one that came to my mind is Moisty Merman, takes up a lot of space on his card. But that's a big reason why I think these are very underrated. And then something else people talk about is potentially they have a harder pull rate. So especially with the Crystal Shards, that maybe the gliders, especially the weapons, the pickaxes, the gliders, are a lot harder to pull. You don't pull them as often. And it could, a lot of people might think this because there's less of them in the set. So that's why people perceive them as a harder pull, just because there's, only 30 total cards of these in the set. And then another thing I also would like to touch on, I know this video is all over the place and it's just random, but I just kind of wanted to go off and talk about why I believe these are underrated, is the med kit. I mean, that's the only healing item card we're ever going to get from Panini in a Crystal Shard parallel. I mean, if you ask me, that's pretty significant, especially because the med kit has never been vaulted, and how significant it is in game. I mean, especially now that you can move while you use them, they've become more usable in the actual meta for playing the game. It used to be you never carried medkits in competitive, and now you're seeing pro players carrying medkits again. So I'm sure people are definitely going to remember using a medkit a lot more than a lot of these just completely random skins. And like I touched on earlier, how the pickaxes and the glider roster is terrible. The weapons roster, fantastic. We got the classic AR, the hunting rifle, the pump shotgun, the tac shotgun, the classic SMG. It's incredible. They did really well with the weapons. I mean, you could say they didn't give us a Scar, the heavy sniper, whatever. It can't be perfect, but I'd say for Panini, what they did as good as you could expect. This is their weapon roster that they chose to have on card is above and beyond what they did for the average skin they put in the set, I'd say. And, think about how often we talk about the nostalgia. Now, a lot of the nostalgia would, you're nostalgic for skins, but people all the time say that they miss, the classic AR, the classic SMG, the pump. The pump is the most iconic thing in Fortnite, probably, along with Renegade Raider. The pump shotgun, Renegade Raider is up there for most iconic for Fortnite. And it might just be, the pump might just be even more iconic. And that's one of those things, whether you love it or hate it, whether you're getting killed by it or you're getting your 200 pumping somebody, it's a great feeling to 200 pump somebody, and it's a terrible feeling when you get 200 pumped. But it's just so iconic because people remember it for the negatives and the positives it brings to the game, and that'll make something stick out and be iconic. So the Pump Crystal Shard, the Medkit Crystal Shard, I believe those are both very significant cards, along with the Classic Assault Rifle. Again, everything I say is not investment advice. This is my personal opinion. I have to put that in every one of my videos. But, and so even the pickaxes, I do think the pickaxes, even, like, there's a lot of, like, the bad ones, they're bad. The pickaxes are terrible. But I still think they're going to have collectability in the future, because where else are you going to get a Crystal Shard pickaxe? There's only going to be these, because I'm sure we're never going to see a Panini Crystal Shard again. And same thing with the gliders. There's only 2 glider cards ever for Panini Fortnite, so only 2 glider Crystal Shards we're ever going to see. I know I said that earlier in the video, but I just like to preface that and put emphasis on that. And, you know, I just think these are very important cards that do not get talked about enough, because, like I said at the beginning of the video, you can't play a game of Fortnite without encountering these things. A pickaxe, a glider, a weapon, an item, which another item they have in there is a clinger. Now, the clinger, it could be classified as a weapon or an item. Me personally, I actually do believe Epic does classify it as a item, not a weapon. So, you know, there's only 2 item cards, Medkit and Clinger, which, you know, I think that's pretty significant. It'd be cool if we could have gotten, you know, minis, shockwaves, impulses, portaforts. Those would have been really cool cards. I think those would have major collectability if they would have been included in Series 1. But like I said, I think with this, you know, the weapons and items they chose, they did a very good job. So that's just kind of why I believe this is an important part of Series 1 that does not get enough love, that does not get talked about enough, and I believe we should look to appreciate this aspect of the set more. Now, thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to try to upload a video every Sunday. That's going to be my goal. Upload a, you know, over 5-minute, good quality video like this one is, and the Reloaded set overview was. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on Sunday, and yeah, thanks for watching.